Hello, this is Jan with Travel Smart Seniors, and today we're going to take a look at a new integration with the Booking.com app on your phone, and that is with ChatGPT, and it will enable you to do some really terrific trip planning, and we'll show you how to do all that in this video. June 27th of this year, Booking.com launched a beta test, which means it's a test, of a new AI trip planner that enhances the Booking.com app on your phone. It's actually integrating the phone app with the large language model technology from ChatGPT. So you can ask about general travel related questions, but you can also ask more specific queries about even destinations and accommodations that are integrated with Booking.com's app. So on June 28th, the beta of this trip planner was rolled out to Booking.com Genius members in the United States only. Again, this is beta software. It's only partly available right now, but I will redo this video when it becomes generally available to the public. So let's get started. Of course, the first thing we need to do is launch our Booking.com app on our phone, and then you will come up with this screen and you will see the blue button if you're in the beta program. Now you simply have to tap the Try It Out button and you'll come to the next screen. This is where you'll interact with ChatGPT. If this is your first time using the app, I highly recommend you read the AI Trip Planner disclaimers. So you're ready to get started by entering your message in the text box at the bottom of the screen. Tapping in the text box brings up your on-screen keyboard. Unfortunately, the keyboard covers the text box and you can't see what you're typing. So I use dictation by clicking on the microphone in the lower right-hand corner and entering my text that way. So here we go. I am traveling to Budapest on September 8th and want to depart September 9th, and I'm looking for a hotel that's close to the train station, also near the Old Town, has breakfast, has an elevator, and is under 200 euros. Can you find one for me? Well, we've entered the question, but we can't see it, so we need to get rid of the keyboard by swiping up anywhere above the keyboard. That will reveal the text box, but as you can see, it's not nearly large enough to show the entire question. Let's just send it off by clicking on the little paper airplane at the lower right. It takes a minute to think about it, and then it will give you its answer. All right, so here we go. It says I found some great options. Close to the train station near the Old Town, Bliss Hotel Wellness, Leonardo Boutique Hotel in Budapest M Square, and Lions Garden Hotel. It gives me the best with the Bliss Hotel and Wellness, which is a guest house, has a price of $129.4. Leonardo is $136.89. All of these properties have breakfast and elevators included. So then this becomes exactly like using standard Booking.com, and I can look at the individual information about each property. And here's the Leonardo, I can check that as well. And here's the Lions Garden, and then it gives me others that aren't on the top of the list, and it seems to be ordered by price. I often use average ratings to take my hotels, and the Leonardo has an 8.8 rating, and that looks pretty good. So all I have to do is use normal Booking.com procedures to reserve the room. I like to focus on average user ratings in Booking.com, and so I changed my prompt just a little bit to look for hotels with all the same criteria, under $200, center, elevators, but had an average rating of 8.8, and submitted that. So remember that right now this is beta software and it's undergoing testing, and it may give you a little bit of a surprise with the answers, so you do have to look at the criteria very carefully. I asked for prices under 200 euros. In this case, the first choice was a Hyatt at 446 euros. That's not quite what I had in mind. On the plus side, all the reviews were certainly above 9, and that met my criteria. So use caution when using this and make sure the results make sense. So moving away from trying to find a hotel, I tried some other things with this and started with trying to book a flight between Chicago and Budapest. And it says, no, I don't do that. So then I decided I'd better figure out what services they do offer, and I asked. So it turns out Booking.com can only help with accommodation and destination recommendations. You can't book flights, car rentals, taxis, or attractions right now, which means it may be coming. Now it's time to find out what the app can do in helping us find places to go, things to see, and things to do. Remember, this is a chat, so I'm just talking to the trip planner as if I'm sitting across the table from them and telling them what I like. So there you go, a pretty comprehensive list of things to do in Budapest for the time. Notice that it even takes into account we are senior citizens and we should take it easy. If we're senior citizens, I had to ask how hard it was to get up to Buda Castle. It says, sorry, I can't do that. Now, I'm going to do something that may be of interest. I'm going to actually compare the same questions of ChatGPT versus the Booking.com app, and I'm going to put them side by side so you can compare the two. On the left is the output from the Booking.com AI app, and on the right is the ChatGPT iPhone app with the same question asked. But this time I'm talking directly to ChatGPT and not through the Booking.com app. The output from the ChatGPT app is quite long, and so I'm paging through the entire response. So let's try one more thing with the Booking.com AI. And I said, I'm going to be in Budapest and I like to do small group tours. What can you recommend? Well, the walking tour sounded quite interesting, so I asked, how can I book that? And I didn't get a complete answer. Well, fortunately, Booking.com has an attractions tab at the top, and I was able to go to that and identify the historical landmarks walking tour, get a description, and then I could book it right there on the Booking.com site. So I was worried about climbing up to Buda Castle, and I decided to ask the Booking.com AI. So I got a fairly complete answer, and then I asked if I needed tickets, and it gave me another good answer. For the sake of comparison, I asked the same question of ChatGPT native app, and it gave me the same, pretty much the same answer, but much more detailed, giving me bus numbers and talking about walking. So that's a quick look at the Booking.com Trip Planner AI, and I was quite impressed for it being in a beta state. And also, you don't really have to use ChatGPT. It does give you a little more comprehensive answers, but if you're satisfied with what you get on Booking.com, go with that. I do hope you found this information useful, and I will be updating this as Booking.com makes more progress on testing.